If you are over 70, one bad investing mistake can change your whole life. Not because you are doing something stupid, but because you do not have the same luxury you had at 40. At 40, you can recover from a big drop. You can keep working. You can wait 10 years. At 70, time is different. A 30% or 40% hit is not just a number on a screen. It can mean less freedom, more stress, and harder choices. So here is the question. If your savings fell hard next month, would you still sleep well at night? Or would you feel forced to sell at the worst time just to feel safe again? This is why investing after 70 is not about being smart. It is about being protected. Many people never change their plan when they get older. They use the same risky setup they used in their 40s and 50s. They stay in investments that swing up and down a lot, or they chase high income because it looks comforting. And they learn too late that high income can come with high danger. I have seen this pattern too many times. And mess. Someone does everything right for decades, works hard, saves, builds a nest egg. Then one market storm hits at the wrong time, and suddenly their retirement turns into a constant worry. That is why this video is about simple safety. And before we talk about the 3 investment types, we need to agree on one word, the word safe. Because in money talk, safe is used the wrong way all the time. Some people call something safe because it pays interest. Some call it safe because it has a famous company name. Some call it safe because an ad says guaranteed. But for someone over 70, real safety has 3 parts. First, your main money should be protected, not probably protected. Protected enough that a bad year does not ruin your plan. Second, your income should be steady. Not perfect, but steady enough that you are not shocked by sudden cuts. Third, you should be able to reach your money when life happens. Because life does happen. A health bill, a home repair, helping family. And you do not want your money locked up when you need it most. When you use that test, a lot of safe investments fail. Some bonds can drop in value when rates rise. Some dividend stocks can cut payouts during a recession. Some products lock your money up and charge you a penalty if you need it early. Real estate can be hard to sell fast, and the price can fall at the exact wrong time. So the truth is simple. The list of truly calm, senior-friendly choices is smaller than people think. Let me tell you a short story that explains why this matters. A retiree once spoke with felt confident at the start. He had saved well. He thought his plan was solid. His money was spread across many things, so it felt diversified. Then a major market drop hit. His account fell fast. Not 5%, not 10%. A painful amount. The worst part was not the loss. The worst part was what happened next. He got scared. He sold to stop the fear. And once he sold, he missed the recovery. After that, he did not trust invest. And ting anymore. He kept everything in the safest place he could find, even if it paid almost nothing. He spent the rest of his retirement worrying, even though he started out fine. This is not rare. It happens when people confuse a plan that worked before with a plan that fits my age now. So here is the big idea for today. After 70, your goal is not to chase the biggest return. Your goal is to avoid the big mistake. The kind of mistake that you cannot undo. That means you want simple building blocks. Easy to understand, easy to manage, low stress. And the 3 investment types we are going to talk about are built around that idea. One for strong safety and steady income. One for long-term growth to fight inflation. One for quick access and peace of mind. Now let's start with the first one. The first investment type many cautious retirees lean on is short-term US Treasury securities. These are not fancy. They are not exciting. That is why they are useful. In simple words, a treasure. And why is a loan you give to the US government for a set time? In return, you get paid back as agreed. Treasuries are often seen as one of the strongest base layer assets in the world because the government has powerful tools to meet its payments. Now, you might hear people worry about government debt. That is a fair topic to discuss. But there are 2 different worries people mix up. One worry is, will I get paid back at all? That is a default worry. The other worry is, will my money buy less later? That is an inflation worry. For short-term treasuries, the main issue is usually not default. The main issue is inflation. And the reason short-term matters is simple. The shorter the time, the less time inflation has to do damage. This is also why short-term is the key word. Long-term bonds can swing a lot when interest rates change. If rates rise, older bonds become less attractive and their prices can fall. That price drop can be large for long-term bonds. And for a retiree, a big and drop can be stressful even if the bond still pays in the end. Short-term treasuries do not swing as much. They are designed to be the calm part of the portfolio. They can help you avoid the feeling of watching your safe money fall. Here is a simple decision rule you can use. If you might need the money soon, you want it in something that does not make you nervous when markets move. This is also where another small idea helps a lot. It is called spreading out maturity dates. Think of it like this. Instead of putting all your safe money into one locked box that opens on one day, you use a few smaller boxes that open at different times. That way, you regularly have money coming due. You can spend it if you need it, or roll it into a new short-term treasury if you do not. This gives you control, and control lowers stress. So the first building block is about stability. It is not about showing off. It is about making sure your retirement does not depend on perfect market weather. The next section, we will talk about the second investment type, the one that can help with long-term growth, but only if you treat it the right way and only if it matches your temperament. Now let's talk about the second investment type. This one surprises people because it sounds less safe at first. It is a broad stock index fund that holds many large companies. You might say, stocks are risky. I've seen the market crash. How can that belong in a senior plan? That is a fair question. Stocks can drop hard in a bad year. Sometimes they drop fast. And if you need your money next month, stocks are not the place to keep it. But here is the key idea. Safety is not only about what happens this week. Safety is also about what happens over the next 10 or 15 years. After 70, you still may have a long road ahead. Many people live into their late 80s or 90s. That means your money might need to last a long time. And over long periods, inflation can quietly eat away at cash and fixed pay. And ments. So the real problem is not only market crashes. The problem is also slow loss of buying power. This is why many careful retirement plans hold a small piece in stocks. Not to gamble, not to chase, but to keep up with life getting more expensive over time. Think of your retirement money like a boat. One part of your boat needs to be heavy and stable so it does not tip in rough water. That is what short-term government bonds can help with. But another part of your boat needs a sail. Something that can move you forward over time. That is what a simple index fund can do. Not perfectly, not every year, but as a long-term engine. Now, why an index fund and not single stocks? Because single stocks can fail. Even big names. Even companies that look strong today can get hit by changes they did not expect. A new competitor shows up. A new law changes the rules. A new technology replaces the product. A bad leader makes bad choices. A company can fall fast. When you own one stock, you carry, and all that risk. An index fund spreads that risk across many companies. If one company weakens, it becomes a smaller part of the index over time. If it drops out, it gets replaced by another company that is stronger. That is a big deal. It means you are not trying to guess the next winner. You are letting the business world update the list for you. It is still not risk-free, but it can be simpler and more steady than trying to pick the perfect stock at 70. There is also another reason index funds matter: fees. Fees are like tiny leaks in a bucket. One leak does not look like much, but over years it can drain a lot. Many complicated funds and products charge higher fees. Some charge hidden fees. Some pay commissions to the people selling them. And some are built to look safe while quietly taking more of your money each year. A low-cost index fund is usually clear and simple. You can often see the fee. You can often understand what it holds. And you can avoid paying extra for fancy word. Now, we need to talk about the biggest danger with stocks for seniors. It is not the market itself. It is panic. Stocks only help you if you can stay calm when prices drop. If you buy stocks and then sell in fear during a crash, you turn normal market swings into real damage. So before you put any money into stocks at this stage of life, you need to do one honest test. Ask yourself, if the market dropped a lot this year, would I still hold this part for the long term? If the answer is yes, then a small stock portion might make sense as a long-term piece. If the answer is no, then even a good stock fund is not safe for you because it will push you into decisions you regret. This is not about being brave. It is about being realistic. Some people can handle swings, some cannot, and that is okay. The goal is peace, not proving something. Here is a simple way to think about it. Money you need soon should not be in stocks. Money you can leave alone for many years can be in stocks, but, and, only if you truly leave it alone. That means you do not watch it every day. You do not treat it like a scoreboard. You do not check just to see, because checking too often makes emotions stronger, and emotions create bad timing. A calm plan uses stocks like a slow cooker, not a microwave. Now let me make this even simpler. A retiree plan often needs 3 jobs done. Job 1, keep your base money steady. Job 2, help your money grow enough to fight inflation over time. Job 3, keep cash ready for life surprises so you never feel trapped. This second investment type is mainly job 2, and it works best when you set clear rules. Here are a few easy rules you can use. Rule 1, this stock money is long-term money. I will not touch it for short-term needs. Rule 2, I will not sell just because the news is scary. Rule 3, I will not chase hot stocks. I will stick to a simple broad basket. Rule 4, I will keep costs low. Rule 5, if I cannot sleep because of it, I will lower. And the amount, not force myself to be someone I'm not. That last rule matters a lot. Many people lose peace because they copy a plan that does not fit their personality. They take on more risk than they can handle. Then they check the market too often. Then they panic at the wrong time. A good plan is not the one with the best story. It is the one you can stick with. Now, you might ask, how much should be in this stock part? There is no one perfect number. Some seniors have a pension or strong social security income and can take a little more long-term risk. Some have high medical needs and should be more conservative. Some have big families they support. Some live very simply. So the better question is not, how much? The better question is, how soon will I need this money? If you might need it soon, it belongs in the stable part or in cash. If you can truly leave it alone for many years, it can be part of the long-term growth piece. And one more thing, the stock part is not there to, and, make you rich fast. It is there to help your buying power stay alive, to give your savings a chance to grow with the economy over time. Not every year, but over many years. In the next section, we will talk about the third investment type, the simplest one. The one that looks boring but can save you from the worst mistakes seniors make during market drops. It is cash, and it is more powerful than most people think. Now let's talk about the third investment type, the one most people disrespect, the one that sounds boring, the one that gets called lazy money, cash. If you are over 70, cash is not lazy. Cash is your seatbelt, because life does not care what the stock market is doing. A water heater can break on the same week the market drops. A medical bill can show up on the same month your portfolio is down. A family need can happen at the worst time. And if you do not have cash ready, you may be forced to sell long-term investments at a bad moment. That is how small problems become big ones. Cash prevents that. It gives you speed, it gives you choice, it gives you calm. And calm is a real asset in retirement. Here is the simplest way to understand why cash matters so much after 70. There are 2 kinds of risk. One risk is losing money on paper for a while, then recovering later. The second risk is being forced to sell at the bottom because you need money right now. The second risk is the dangerous one, because it can turn a temporary drop into a permanent loss. Cash protects you from that second risk. It is your, I don't have to panic money. It is your, I can wait money. It is your, I can handle today without touching tomorrow money. That is why cash is not only financial, it is also mental. When you know you have enough cash for real life needs, you stop watching the market like it controls your mood. You stop feeling trapped. You make better choices. Now, when we say cash, we do not mean piles of bills at home. We mean money kept in places designed for safe and tie and access, like insured bank accounts or certain money market funds that focus on very safe short-term government-backed assets. The big idea is simple. Cash should be easy to reach. Cash should be low drama. Cash should not surprise you. Now let's answer the most common question. How much cash should a senior keep? There is no one perfect number for everyone. but there is a simple way to build your number. Start with your monthly needs. Add up the bills that must be paid no matter what. Housing, food, utilities, insurance, transportation, basic health costs, minimum debt payments if any. That is your base. Then choose a time window. Many people feel calm with 6 months of expenses in cash. Some prefer 12 months. Some prefer more, especially if health costs can rise or if income is not stable. The goal is not to pick a number that sounds impressive. The goal is to pick a number that stops you from making fear decisions. Here is a simple test you can use. Ask yourself, if the market dropped a lot and stayed down for a year, could I pay my bills without selling investments? If the answer is yes, your cash buffer is doing its job. If the answer is no, your cash buffer may be too small for your comfort. Now, where should this cash be kept? Again, the focus is not on chasing the best rate. It is on safety and access. Many people use insured bank accounts, which protect deposits up to a certain limit per bank, per person, under certain rules. That limit matters. If your cash is far above the insured limit at one bank, some people choose to spread it across more than one bank so they do not rely on one place. Others use money market funds that hold very safe short-term government-backed securities. These can offer good access and simplicity, but you still want to understand what the fund holds and how it works. The key is this: do not let your emergency cash become a science project. If you have to think hard to get your money out, it is not emergency cash. And if you can lose value fast, it is not emergency cash. If you get punished for using it, it is not emergency cash. Now let's talk about a common trap. Some people try to upgrade cash into something that looks like cash but is not. For example, a product might promise higher income, but it locks your money for years, or it charges a fee if you need it early, or it can drop in value right when you need it. That is not a true cash reserve. A real reserve is boring on purpose. Now, people often ask about certificates of deposit. They can be fine in some cases, but the downside is simple. If you lock cash for a set time and then need it early, you may pay a penalty. That can defeat the whole point of cash, which is freedom. So a lot of seniors prefer cash that stays fully flexible. Now let's connect the 3 investment types together, because they are not meant to work alone. Think of your retirement money as a simple 3-part system. Part 1 is your steady base. This is where safety and reliability live. Part 2 is your long-term growth piece. This is there to help you keep up with rising costs over many years. Part 3 is your cash buffer. This is there to protect you from emergencies and protect your mind from panic. When these 3 parts are balanced, something powerful happens. You stop trying to squeeze one investment to do every job. You stop chasing high income in risky places. You stop using stocks as a savings account. You stop using cash as a growth plan. Each part has one job, and when each part does its job, you get peace. Here is a simple checklist you can use to see if your plan is set up well. First, can you cover near-term needs without selling long-term investments? Second, can you handle a surprise bill without stress? Third, can you sleep at night even if stocks fall for a while? Fourth, do you understand what you own in plain words? Fifth, are fees low and complexity low? If you answer yes to most of those, you are doing better than most people. And low. Now let's address a few worries people have, because they are real. One worry is, if I hold cash, inflation will eat it. Yes, inflation can reduce buying power over time. That is true. But the purpose of cash is not to win a race. The purpose of cash is to keep you from crashing. Cash is like a fire extinguisher. You do not buy it to make money. You buy it so one small problem does not burn down your house. Another worry is, if I hold too much in safe assets, I'll miss out on bigger returns. That is also true. But after 70, the goal often changes. The goal is less about getting rich. It is more about staying secure. A plan that helps you avoid big losses can be more valuable than a plan that sometimes earns more but sometimes hits you hard. Because a big loss at 72 is not the same as a big loss at 42. Another worry is, I need more income than this. If someone truly needs higher income, they may have to make trade-offs. Higher income often brings higher risk, less safety or less flexibility. That is not good or bad. It is just reality. The important part is to understand the trade-off before you reach for it. A lot of seniors get hurt when they chase yield without seeing the risk underneath. Now let's talk about the biggest danger of all in retirement investing. It is not the market, it is stress. Stress makes people do things that look logical in the moment but damage them later. Stress makes people sell low to stop the fear. Stress makes people buy risky income because they feel desperate. Stress makes people trust the wrong person because they want certainty. So your plan should be built to reduce stress. And the simplest way to reduce stress is to reduce complexity and reduce the chance of a forced decision. That is why these three investment types keep showing up in senior planning conversations. Not because they are exciting, because they are clear. They are simple. They help you stay independent. They help you stay calm. And here is a final thou. And GHT. The happiest retirees are often not the ones who took the biggest risks. They are the ones who built a plan they could understand and stick to. A plan that lets them spend their time on family, hobbies, friends, health, and peace. Your money is supposed to support your life. Your life is not supposed to become a full-time job managing money. So keep it simple, keep it safe, keep it calm, and make choices that let you enjoy the years you worked so hard to earn.